Oh, just hang on a minute. They're just right near it. The bent trees are a bit further along, but there's an archway. What Mick is probably going to come through and not notice. Or is this it here? Here's the glutey tree. It's took a bit to find, but we found it. I knew I was right. I knew it was along this right hand side, or depending which side you come up, left hand side. I knew. But the gateway, you should be able to see where people have been walking, you see now. Are you there, mate? Yeah. Just see Mick coming up. But at least we've found the clutch tree anyway. So. This is the here. This is the gateway. That's it. See, they've even put on the gateway. They're thinking along your terms, like.
That's nothing to do with these area, the purification markers for when you're walking through that gate. This archway.
Like
going to a sacred ritual space here.
That's what I'm saying. That's where.
Put yourself in the mind of a pagan.
Yeah. So it's like a border.
No. These are prayers to keep anything bad out of here. That's what these are. So what they've done is, this will be the walk into a sacred space. These, they would have put prayers of protection around this doorway into the sacred space. This is the first entrance going into it. So, as a ritual, they'll probably walk in a straight line here, and they'd have candles here and there. So if you find any tea lights knocking around, you'll know they'll be along this stretch of path. But knowing pagans, they would have taken that sort of, they wouldn't leave something like that behind. Even though they're leaving this, which isn't very eco-friendly. Usually, a lot of pagans, what they would do is use something that deteriorates quicker, so it's not contaminating an area. But they probably want these to be here because of, like I said, this is protection now going into there. Anyone walking past this area, if there's anyone with bad intentions, that will, in a way, take that away from them as they're walking through. So as we're walking through this area, we'll come to there. You've got your places through there where they're leaving the prayers. Which is what they tried to start in another one next to it, which I don't know why, unless there's too many there. But they're old. This to me looks as though it's not been used for quite a bit. Because you can see how old and tatty, and they've lost the colour in some. Yeah.
UV's got some, hasn't it?
So you've got birds here. Yeah, which are symbolising these, the prayers being flowed off into the ether. And my take on this, what I would have done at that time, adding things that represent some sort of winged animal that would take them prayers up into the ether, so the gods and goddesses can get that energy from these prayers and grant them wishes and things like that. That's the whole idea of the Clutie. But there's more than one here, isn't there? You know, you've got that, and then they started there. So this area is the sacred prayer area where they're leaving these for offerings and prayers. And we've got this symbol here. This is almost a labyrinth symbol. And the sign of water. Spiralling to the other world. So these are going to the other world, these things. I'm standing now, I am feeling a certain presence or energy around this area as I'm standing here and talking. I believe it's, these symbols on here are water symbols, spirals that are going down. So we've got a water symbol there, and sun rays, which are really two things together like that, water and sun. I'm unsure of the... Maybe someone listening to this might know. Yeah. Oh, there's like spirals. So like the sun going down and shining.
Yeah.
That way.
Like a sundial, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. It's but all these representations of what they are. Let's just get that there. Talking about it, I never got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, Mick.
Where is that? What are we get? What is it?
Circle.
I thought it's a fire pit, though.
Right, okay.
They might have had a fire here. See what I mean about lights and the candles? That might have been where anyone praying, if they would have had a little fire there, they might have been throwing pieces of paper or sigils on into that area.
Yeah, I've just mixed on about. I've just spotted like a fire pit, but there again, it's like you said, it may be that they have actually had a fire while they were actually saying the blessings, prayers. But yeah. I'm getting a little bit of a presence here, Mick. I don't know.
You will do where Dale is standing.
Because that's where it's all been aimed at.
Yeah, around this point. So we just come across, so this is what we the fire pit and certainly a string not only keeping the food chicken, but maybe there was writing secrets.
And as you can see as well, like Mick's just been going through what's the events have been, the way they're thinking, to Mick's own knowledge. And you'll see like they've done, he doesn't know why, but they've done a second Cleety tree right next to it, which he doesn't get the idea of, to be honest. Because, you know, anybody with any common sense is, why would you start another one? So, yeah. But the interesting thing about this is, if you know about the living of trees, it's very rare that one tree can survive on its own, because they live really in a bit of a family, to be fair. So there's always, when you go out, you'll always notice, or maybe when you do go out, you'll notice that there's always two trees together. And I think it's 1 in every 50 pair of trees, if you look right at the top, you'll see that they're actually combined, and it's a bit more of a friendship as well, where they're connected at the top. But it's a rare thing to see. But like I say, it's, you know, 1 in every 50 this pair of trees you see where the friendship is at the top of the tree. But it's fascinating, to be honest. Fascinating, but we're going to press on now and have a look which I know I will find, definitely now. They've found the archway, which is over there. I'll just show you the archway. There it is, in a sense. And that's like the starting of a boundary, really. There's a circle, but Mick says it'll be further along the track that we might pick something up. So on that note, let me put the camera down and see if we can find these bent trees. Thanks for watching. No. The bent trees and the worship, and you'll see the 3D prints, or there should be when we get up here. But be careful. Yeah. See, I think that's where the statue's been, where they put a flat.
So they put it there?
Yeah.
Oh, they would have been it here. Cool.
Yeah, we just found it straight away. Here you go. That's the one. There you go.
All right, so it's not, yeah, it's definitely not being used as one now. So are these trees? Hello, Ben. That's natural thing, you know.
No, but just look at them prop. There is some ones with the twisted.
That's natural windfall, that there, like.
Yeah, that's natural. Yeah.
And that.
Even
That's great.
Even that. That's
That's natural, yeah.
There is some what's twisted. I don't think they're actually here. Don't think, but they are natural then.
What's that then? Is that the bell?
That's the bell.
And where was it before?
Well, it's just been put here. Even Paul's picked it up and moved it, I think, because
Well, so what's the purpose of these then?
they're like offerings, aren't they, Mick?
This will be. It's not. It's just a what sitting here. God, I bet they spent some money doing that on a thing, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
What they would have used that for, they would have used a real bell for the sounders who were walking through the
Archway.
archway and coming into this. If they,
It's like a church thing, isn't it?
What I'll do is I'll send the drone up and get some outside shots
Yeah,
and see
I will.
how it looks from there.
But that's natural, that. But there is some twisty ones. I mean, but I'm not saying they're here. But I thought they were here. But like I say, I was in the dark.
how many touching? These have been broken and not been well made, have they?
No.
So that's
H and Mick are just having a look at the
that would be a
3D
skull.
prints. Like I say, it's just a cheap way of doing it in a way, to be honest. But it's an interesting place. It's
That's wire. Comes out there. Wonder what they've been. Copper. Yeah, it's been a long time since they've been here, then, isn't it?
yeah. But they were more precise when we first came. But obviously the leaves have started. Well, that's only a few weeks ago. Winter Tower was here, so
So is this the circle of trees you were
this is
talking
a circle,
about?
yeah.
This is the original Pluto before they put it down there. That's how long this has been here. This is your archway here.
Right.
You know, when you came in, you saw all these things hanging and all these statues and things like that. How were they laid out?
You'd have to look at video. It was in dark, so
Right. So that's south. That's north. East. And west.
see Mick's just going through the actual compass directions because it does mean something to him in a way of, you know, starting with north. Mick, what does north mean?
No, what they call quarters, and they call to the quarters, the spirits of the quarters, to come into a ritual space and protect them while they're having a ritual. Now this is a modern paganism, and then at the end of the ritual, they'll sort of reverse it, so any spirits or anything, what they've been doing here will get dispersed, and it just becomes a normal space again. But that's what they do within the ritual. They make that space, and then they break that space after. But in between that space, they'll do things like feast and eat bread and things, and drink wine or water or mead even. But what they're doing is they're consuming these things. It's any goodness that coming out of it will go to the gods and goddesses that they want to give it to, the ones that they worship. It's only if they've been using this space, then there's only a few of them, not more than 6. So this is a coven, and it's a coven of either Wicca, but it's from what I'm capturing at the moment. It's the goddess Brigante. That's what the main deity that they're using within this circle. That's what I think. The reason being is the area we come from, the Brigantians would have been around this area. I think it was the Brigantians in this area, and they would have been worshipping Brigid, or what they call Saint Brigid now, and she was they call her the Wolf Maiden, and she was the goddess of the animals of the forest as well. You know, she would have been here looking after the place. So that's what they're doing. They're giving a ritual. They're having a ritual to the spirits of this area to look after. So there's nothing bad here. But these offerings that they leave behind, I mean, to me, you shouldn't really be leaving plastic behind in a sacred area like this. So I don't think they're serious occultists.
No, I don't think
they're modern day pagans. And saying that, when I say modern, this is we're talking about not more than 10 years old. This.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Then we had 10 years in my mind. Then on the.
And it's somebody who's probably bought a printer. What's it printer?
3D printer.
They printed these out. They've just bought it or something, and they want to try and experiment with everything. So they're doing these bones. Now, I'm not sure if these bones might represent a wolf. I don't know. But I can't tell what animal they might have been with a skull, what they've made there. Can't tell what animal that could have represented. It could have been a deer. Because not far from here in Flixton, we've got what used to be the Flixton, not ponds, lakes, where the Beaker people used to live. And we're going back thousands of years here. And the Beaker people, when they went over there and they did the excavation, they found these antlers that had aisles bored into them, and they must have used them as a mask. The skull part with the antlers on. These are I think they're in the British Museum, and you can read up on that. And they don't know what they use them for. They have come out with ideas that they could have been either used for ritual, or it could have been hunting, simple as hunting. You know, putting these masks on and like hiding down and waiting for the deer to come along. Because if another deer sees these antlers, they're going to come towards, and then that's the food then. So they don't really know what they were made for. But there's a lot of speculation of what they could have been, you know, hunting, ritual, whatever. And like I say, all the area over Flixton, yeah, it was these Beaker people, what they call the Beaker people, who lived around there. Because the lake at that time, what they found in the lake is bone that has been cut into like fishing spears, So they knew there were fish in that area, and they knew they were using that area for fishing. Not only that, they had jetties going out into the water and wooden posts. Because it's boggy area, they still found some
Like
of
marshland.
this wood. You know, because it's preserved it, so they're still finding these areas where this lake was. Not only was the Flixton Lake, but further afield there was a lake even bigger than that, which they would have used. It would have been, you know, there would have been a lot of tribes around that area using that area because it would have been a great place to live with all the food and the, not only that, your fruit as well. You know, the berries, and I mean, you get lots of apple trees around here. There would have been lots of fruit for them and nuts through the winter.
So the goddess, what was the goddess of the animals? What in relationship did you say yesterday, which is quite intriguing?
She's known as the Wolf Maiden.
There you go, people. So that's quite interesting in itself.
I always forget I should put my camera up and
Right, thanks, Mick. Thanks very much for that information. Yeah, this is the surrounding area. I'm just taking a bit of a walk in to actually see where the actual worshipping has been taking place in a sense. But, you know, it's like I was thinking before Mick said it, it's just a cheap way that somebody's got a 3D printer and just been a bit of a playing really. It's not like a genuine group, it's like a modern group in a sense. Interesting. But as well, I was thinking that as well before Mick said it, that it's not a very large group, it's just a group of just like he said, 6 or maybe less, maybe a touch more, but not many in numbers because it's only a small opening in itself. I don't know what the bucket's there for. Somebody's brought a bucket to represent a bell if they couldn't find it. But it's like H says, it's definitely, you know, a strange place. It's what do you think about it, H?
I'm not too. I think it's interesting. I think it was well worth a look, obviously. But yeah, it's quite clear that it's not been used in a very long time. Obviously, all the rags and the trees and stuff are clearly quite aged. They've lost their colour, their saturation, and
UV's got to them, hasn't it?
yeah. And I think if it was anything serious, they'd probably move to a different location now.
Well, I always think that when they'll know if they've been found out.
Yeah.
So then they'll move on, won't
you were
they?
saying before how the statue's gone, which obviously symbolised it being up here. So with that now missing, it makes you think, did they take it back, put it somewhere else?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, Danes Dyke itself is, it holds a plethora of different types of phenomena. So this being here, I suppose, just adds to it. The mystique, the enigma of the place.
And like I said, we've only just started, this is Monday, we've only just started our week ahead of us, so we're actually going to spend some nights in here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've not done it as such. So fingers crossed that'll be interesting in itself. Right, thanks H.
Of course.
Dale's just over there working the actual drone. But let's just see what Dale thinks in a way of. He's kind of the outsider looking in. What do you think, Dale, of this place? Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, to really, obviously I'm not like yourself or Mick, I don't actually feel things when we come into places like this, but you know, I'm open to the possibility of something like that. I mean, I've heard obviously all the stories that are associated with this place, and obviously that's kind of why everybody's drawn here all the time. And you know, combined with that is a lot of people, eyewitness accounts that have seen a lot of things over the years here. So yeah, just kind of piques your interest and makes you want to keep coming back. And I think I heard you say that we're going to be coming back a few nights here, which we are. And you know, if you don't immerse yourself in these places, you'll never experience it for yourself. So
Yeah, true.
that's that's kind of my approach. Is, you know, if you seeing is believing, isn't it, at the end of the day? And if you don't get out there and see it for yourself, you're probably never going to believe it. So yeah, I mean, open to the possibility. Never seen anything myself in here, but I'm hoping that we do.
But you know what they're like, somebody new in the group, in a way, in the circle, something happens.
Not a sceptic brick wall though, Lee.
No, but he's not been over to Benton Cliffs yet, and you know what he said, that anybody new over there kind of see something. But we'll see. Probably, I think we're on about going over tonight later on after 10ish, so it'll be interesting. Maybe after we've been there, we might nip back in there and get a feel of the place later on tonight in here. I don't know, but it's like I said to Dale about, it's a shame, Dale, I wish you could feel what we're feeling, because it gives you a bit of a more interest and understanding of what's actually going on when there's something present around you. But maybe this, well, I mean, Dale's been doing it for a long time now, but I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, you know, I know we've talked in the past, I've experienced a lot of things, so I know something is happening. I know there's something strange happening, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not like yourself or Mick, or even Harlem, where I can go into a location and I feel things. I think when I tend to feel things, it's more psychology at play because of something that may have happened, or you know, if we're like a loud bang, and that's obviously going to make you feel on edge, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we're driving down the road and you guys are talking about, you know, getting headaches and stuff. I don't ever get that. Never have done. But you know, maybe it will in the future. Who knows?
But it's like when we went to Scalby Cemetery last night. I showed Dale actually how it kind of works in a way, because something was pulling me off in the way of a direction. I didn't say nothing and headed off, and I kind of felt something, and then I turned around and I said, Mick, follow me up, and Dale was behind Mick, and then of course Mick said, oh yeah, there is something, I felt something. It was kind of playing games, a bit of a trickster element, like the paranormal is in most ways. But Dale kind of said in the background, and I probably caught it on film, that, oh, that's interesting, that Mick's picked it up straight away as you know. So it just shows you that there actually is, you know, there is something with the feeling side of things.
Yeah, I mean, often when, you know, often you'll not even be together and you'll separately say that you're feeling things, so that kind of corroborates that it's actually genuine what you're saying. I mean, to the skeptic, they'll just think that you're clearly lying, but you know, when you have incidents like that where, you know, you're not even with each other and then you're feeling these things and you stating it, obviously that's interesting, because you're getting direct correlation between the two. Yeah,
there's people to back it up. But the interesting thing as well is, obviously we were going down to Scalby Cemetery before we actually landed in the car, and I actually picked up on it, and then Mick picked up on it a bit shorter down the road when we were going to the old part, as we're saying, from the new part of coming in, which you can actually feel it through the car as well. So there is definitely something behind it, but God knows what the answer is. But the thing is as well, when I came back last night, it's not about seeing things, it's the feeling of things. It gives you a good vibe. You know, but it seems that way, that me and myself is picking more and more up in different parts of my body, which is very interesting. And Mick said this, that when you feel it, and I'm glad you can, he said the more you do it, the more you'll learn that what's around you, and it is true. It actually is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thanks for that, Dale.
No worries. Hopefully we'll find something.
Fingers crossed. Okay, people, well, welcome to Willy Howe. You probably recognise it, and recognised it actually before we actually came down, because just over there you'll see along the actual head roads that it's a long straight drag. You'll see the probably traffic in the distance, but I spotted it a bit ago because it does stand out like a sore thumb. So it does do its job as a burial mound. And as you can see as well in front, you've got Mick, and leading is H. And just behind us, I think he's starting getting all the actual drone gear out for Mick for his footage, is Dale. So yeah, it's an interesting place, and I can actually feel something, to be honest. Can you feel anything, Mick? No, I can. I can. But yeah, this is Willy Howe. It's a bit boggy getting to it, but it looks fantastic. And it looks like as well that I might be able to get the drone up and capture it from the air. So if you see me dropping this camera very soon, that's why, because I'm trying to get you, the viewers, some aerial shots. It's an interesting place for sure. And I'll just show you the sign. There's a sign here as well. There's the sign of the actual place itself, and it tells you the history. I think we're right near the gypsy race as well. And it looks like as well, I didn't know that, but it did actually have like a moat round it as well. You can see by the picture, and I didn't know that, so it's true what they say, you learn something every day. Typical Victorian excavation of an ancient burial mound. So it actually has been unearthed and searched, which I thought I'd heard previous. But yeah, let's get the drone up and let's see if we can get anything from this in a way. But the thing is, I'm going to have to take the drone off a flat, and there's no flats really, there might be a bit round here. But anyway, and there's the sun popping round the actual hedgerow of Willy Howe. There's H just doing a bit of footage himself. Yeah, it's a fantastic place. Yeah, it's definitely been excavated. Right, let's get the drone up, so I'll see you in a short while. Keep watching. Okay people, after me stupidly sending the drone up because I'm having problems and I had no camera, I've sent it up and it's just got stuck in the actual bloody tree at the top. Well done Lee, but that's me with technology. But yeah, so let's have a look anyway. Forget about the drone. But yeah, you can see it's been excavated. Definitely that it's been excavated. No, right down to the actual base. But it's an interesting place. It's an interesting place for sure. But I've always wanted to come and bring you guys. You can't probably get out here. Maybe live in another country, which actually is. But I'll pan it over. You'll see that they're trying to get the drone up, but you'll see that they're trying to really help me out, but it's just, it's gone up into the ether, as you can see. But well, you'll see him down here, I think, lower down. But in fact, if he's recording, you'll probably see it where you can actually get the drone itself. It's like the RAC of the drone world and the AA, but I don't think they'll get it. But it has happened to me before. But yeah, it's a rescue attempt. Well, hello people, hope you're all well. Right, we're just going to try from last night, gone back, had a couple of ideas, been to B&Q and got some pieces of wood, and we've come back up to Willy Howe to retrieve the drone.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade in the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the
He's not missed it, but crazy if it's gone, because it was 7 metres up, at least 7.5 metres up. But yeah, maybe the furries are tricky, I don't know. But yeah, we're just having a little bit of a tootle up to see. I'll keep you posted, just watching where my feet is, because this farmer's field is a bit, I can't speak to mate, keep watching. Yo, Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Lee. Just a message to let you know, if you didn't already know, that the drone is no longer in the tree at Willy Howe. Myself and Linny went there this morning with some long poles and battled the elements basically, because it were raining, and we've got the drone down out of the tree for you. Go. So yeah, it's all back with us, and we'll return it at some point later today, mate. Okay, you take care. Bye bye.